for this? Yeah, I thought. Yeah, Jackrabbit.
Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. The planets have apparently aligned, and so today marks two dates which have something in common with one another. I simply could not miss up this opportunity. First of all, it is Orthodox Easter, and so I wish Happy Easter to everyone who celebrated today, but also to those who celebrated last week. The second event is the 25th anniversary of Jackrabbit 2, which came out on the 13th of April 1998, so there's actually a 3-day gap between the two events, but it's close enough for me. The game was developed by a then small studio known as Epic Mega Games and was a sequel to, you guessed it, Jackrabbit, which came out in 1994. I've only played the first title briefly, but if I'm to be totally honest with you, the second game just completely blows it out of the water, with the exception of one feature which I will talk about later. Jazz 2 came out in an era where platforming games on the PC were a rare thing, and so it managed to stand out among the myriad of shooters and strategy games that were popular back then. The gameplay is basically Sonic but on crack. In fact, Jazz makes the blue hedgehog look like a sloth by comparison. You will be going blazing past through levels, blasting enemies in all directions, collecting treasure and doing other assorted jump and run activities. Speaking of which, the weapon variety in this game puts many shooters to shame. You have many types of blasters, 2 types of rockets, a freezing gun, a flame gun, dynamite, and probably more than I can remember. On the power-up side, the game is also quite generous. Special shields, carrots which restore health, carrots that transform your ears into propellers, coins that open portals to secret areas, 1-ups, and probably a few more that I can't remember. There is also this nice little gimmick where, if you collect enough food, you enter into a sugar rush that gives you invulnerability and the ability to kill any enemies simply by touching them. The enemies are visually appealing and consist of turtles, lizards, crabs, monkeys, and so on. The most annoying ones to hit are the flying ones, such as bats, bees, or crows, because of the way that the aiming works. Basically, you can only shoot left, right, and upward, so targeting flyers who zoom on you diagonally can be a major pain. My advice is to save up some homing missiles for such occasions. Despite this, the game is actually quite easy, and I think that any platform veteran is not going to find a challenge here, except maybe during the boss battles. This is especially true because the levels don't contain any death traps, so there are no instant death spike pits, lava lakes, or any of this type of nonsense. The game comes with a ton of levels that are spread throughout several episodes, as was the standard for shooters back then. There is a wide variety of tile sets, so you will never get bored of seeing the same scenery over and over again. You have castles, towns, haunted houses, beaches, labs, casinos, forests, jungles, freezing caves, hellish landscapes, and many more, each coming with specific enemy types. I haven't talked at all about the story simply because there is not much to say about it. Basically, an evil turtle called Devon has kidnapped Eva Longear, Jazz's girlfriend, and it's up to Jazz to rescue her. Actually, there are 2 characters you can choose from, 3 with the Secret Files expansion, each with his or her own set of moves. Jazz has a jumping move where he jumps higher dealing damage, and he can also glide using his helicopter ears. Spaz is Jazz's brother and can kick sideways, however, his double jump ability is the strongest move in the entire game, since this allows him the greatest flexibility during jumps. Lori is their sister. She can kick sideways like Spaz and can glide like Jazz, however I find her the weakest character since she lacks a move that allows her to jump higher than normal. Even so, the game can be beaten with any character, so don't worry. As for the audio visuals, well, what can I say? I think the game looks absolutely stunning even today thanks to its fluid animations, vibrant colors, and detailed character designs. It is a game that will continue to look good even 100 years from now. The same cannot be said about the sound design, which is very weak. Neither the weapons nor the enemies have any oomph to them, and there is not much to the ambient noise either. However, the aspect where the game truly shines is the soundtrack, which follows in the footsteps of the original. The soundtrack for the first game was composed by Robert A. Allen and Joshua Jensen, while the one for Jazz 2 was composed by none other than Alexander Brandon, an absolute legend in the industry who later on went to create other stellar soundtracks for titles such as Unreal, Unreal Tournament, and of course Deus Ex. In fact, I regularly listen to the OST for the two Jackrabbit games, and I've downloaded every track just in case something bad happens to the internet one day. Slim chance, but a man can dream. The game later received an expansion pack called The Secret Files, which adds Lori as a playable character, as well as 3 extra episodes. And this was followed shortly by a small expansion pack called The Christmas Chronicles, which I've dedicated the gameplay video last Christmas. The game ships with an easy-to-use editor which allows the creation of custom levels, and the community has created a large number of these which can be found at www.jazz2online.com. I will put a link in the description. Also, on that website you can download the fan-made patch which adds or fixes things. I don't know exactly for sure, but hey, I heard that it's good, so you'll probably want to use it. On the technical side of things, the game runs well on Linux if you use the script on the Lutris website which installs it together with TXWND. Otherwise, the game will run in a window. I used the aforementioned fan patch on my Windows 7 disk though, because as I understand it, if you install the game through the GOG installer, you can't install the patch separately, so you have to enable it through GOG Galaxy. That being said, I haven't looked too deeply into the matter, so maybe there is a way to use the patch on Linux as well. All in all, I think that choosing a rabbit as a mascot for these types of games was an inspired move on Epic's part, since our Lagomorph friends fit perfectly theme-wise with the jump and run game. The game is very relaxing to play and I think still holds up to this day. The graphics are great and the soundtrack is, as I said, amazing. There are even some active multiplayer servers if you look around for them, since the game does have this feature and it even comes with a capture the flag mode. Ask around on the Jazz 2 online website if you're interested. I have never played this game in multiplayer personally, but who knows, maybe one day I might give it a shot. One last disclaimer at the end, I had issues with capturing video footage, so what you see behind this footage from another video review that I did many years ago in 720p, if you're wondering why it looks so grainy. The game can be bought on GOG if you are interested. Once again, I wish Happy Easter to everyone, regardless if you celebrated today or did so last week. Until next time, have fun!